Well, it is that time of year when we plan summer vacations too, and for some of us, the idea of traveling alone is pretty appealing, but where do you even start? So Tyrah is in the Arc Lounge this morning with Pamela Holt, a travel expert and host of Amazon Prime's Me, Myself, and the World, The Art of Solo Travel. I am listening closely, Tyrah.
I'm listening closely too, Steve, because it is my dream and on my bucket list to go on a solo trip. But I'm a little nervous, so we're going to get to that in a second. But first off, Pamela, welcome. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. You've traveled to 93 countries and territories all by yourself.
Yes.
What even inspired you to start going on these solo trips?
You know what? I love the freedom. I started off solo traveling when I was 19, living in Japan. And I just love the freedom and the independence and, quite frankly, the confidence. Solo travel has turned me into the person I am today.
So you started off in Japan.
Yeah.
And I can tell you are just glowing. You are confident. You look so happy. Talk about some of the other places you've been, and do you have a favorite?
Oh, gosh. Some of the sort of bucket list items were Antarctica and North Pole, Arctic. But I really love getting lost in, like, Italy, the streets of Italy. There's just, it's so romantic and it's wonderful even by yourself, traveling solo, and Greece as well. Really wonderful.
And that's fabulous. I like the romantic destinations too, but that just kind of goes to show you don't need a partner with you to enjoy them.
No.
Where do you even work up the courage and that confidence to spend time in a country all alone and, like you said, get lost?
Yes, I think it's a matter of starting small. Start slow. Consider going to a getaway, a short getaway, or an overnight in a local destination somewhere near to here, and build up to going out of state. And when you're ready to go to abroad for the first trip, go to an English-speaking country that has a transportation system that's really easy to navigate. I think that's really important. Places like Sydney or England or Singapore, all wonderful places. And one of my favorite destinations for solo travelers is Bali. And in season 2 of my series, Me, Myself, and the World, I go to Bali, and you'll see a lot of solo travel tricks and tips when I'm there.
That's fabulous. I like the idea of starting small, kind of dipping your toes in, not diving in. So starting somewhere local and working your way up to those bigger international destinations.
Yes.
And I hear right now there are some, I guess, trends when it comes to traveling solo. Can you speak on some of those trends? What's kind of hot right now?
Yeah, well, Travel and Leisure just recently did a survey and found that a whopping 53% of females and 64% of males are planning solo travel getaways this year. I think, honestly, coming out of the pandemic, people are ready to explore and experience life. No more waiting for tomorrows. And I think that solo travel is the trend coming out of where we've come from and where we're going to.
Yeah.
I love that. And I love that solo travel really, for women in particular, really empowers us. And I'm happy to help you plan your first solo trip.
Thank you for offering. Before I ask for some advice, because I know a lot of people want the advice, you also talk about something called coolcationing. Can you describe what that is?
Yeah, coolcationing is really going to somewhere for cooler weather during our summer season in North America. So for a lot of people, it's going to Norway, Sweden, Finland, those countries, even Estonia. For sure, the Arctic. Arctic is one of the biggest travel trends right now. I just remind people to choose really good companies that are mindful of the environment. And of course, you have Iceland. I did my first coolcation up in the Arctic.
Wow. And
it was so much fun.
I can only imagine. And I know Steve's going to Iceland too, so we'll talk about that with him. But for those who, like myself, want to go on a solo trip, but just a little too nervous, I don't know, what advice do you have to kind of work up that courage, aside from starting small?
Yeah. Okay, mindset is the biggest thing.
Mindset.
So I have changed solo travel. I've redefined it. And solo now stands for seeking out life's opportunities. Think about that. When you go out and you're solo traveling and you're thinking, I'm traveling alone, to now thinking, I am seeking out life's opportunities. Think of that mindset and how it will open you up to new friends, new food, new experiences. And quite honestly, a lot of the unplanned experiences in solo travel are the most memorable.
I love it.
And you will discover that on your first trip.
It's time to change my mindset. You hear that, Steve?
Oh, it's life's opportunity.